Hello, are we on? I think we're on. Hello and welcome to Q&A Thursday. Really pleased to have you here. Now, I have to apologise up front for whoever's online. I've got some birds running up and down the roof, so you might hear some bird sounds or bird noises. Just disregard them. I don't know what's going on. It sounds like we've got elephants in the roof. But anyway, usually I don't have those issues, but there you are. So, first off, just a little bit of housekeeping. I just want to make sure that I can be heard and be seen. So if everyone can write that yes, they can hear and see me, that would be fantastic. I'm just checking everything's sorted here. Right, can you hear and can you see me? All right. Fantastic, Jackson. Derek, hi. Derek, how you going? Brilliant. All right. Hi, Leanne. Fantastic. Great to have you here. I think there is a group. I think Michelle was going to sign on too. Anyway, that's okay. We can see how we go with that. I'm just checking everything is right. Okay. Right. So I've got a really good question today, and I wanted to share that with you. Now, I only got one question, so I'll share that with you today. If you've got any questions, then feel free to please just go into the comments on the right-hand side and just plaster away. And as soon as I see them, I'll answer them as soon as I can. But it was a really good question that I wanted to share with you because, and I got permission to share with you, because I think it's something that, I'm just opening my notes, by the way. I think it's something that we have all asked at one time or another. So let me share my screen with you and let's get underway. Okay, I think you can see me. Excellent. All right. So welcome to live coaching. Oh, hang on. I haven't changed the date on that. It's actually the 1st of June. Whoo, my attention to detail. I need to sort that out. Okay. So it is the 1st of June today, and I'm really excited about that because for those that started the unlocking portal on the 1st of May, you would have now access to module 2. If you've got access to module 2, just let me know. I think that's really exciting because it's a really good lead on from module 1 with what you guys did there. So yeah, very excited about module 2 opening up. Okay, so what is the question that we got asked today? So this came from Kirsten. Now, I think Kirsten's in Queensland, and she said it was all about one-on-ones with the team. So how do I make the most of my one-on-ones, and what should I include in those sorts of discussions, which I think is a really good question to ask. So the first step, Kristen, is to really have a think about, you know, what are the things that are going to obstruct you. So if you've got a really big team, then you're going to have less time to do one-on-ones, even though they really need to be prioritised. But what I like to say to my leaders is you try and get 4 to 6 one-on-ones per year. Now, if you've got a smaller team, you might be able to do that monthly, depending on, you know, whether you're remote or not remote, all those sorts of things. So the whole thing of a one-on-one is you don't want any surprises to come from, you know, performance appraisal time. So when somebody is being appraised for their performance, there should be no surprises, no shocks. It should be pretty much, yes, I saw that coming, or yes, that was about what I thought I would get, or whatever. And the other thing that I need to remind you is that it is two-way feedback. So it's not all about us as leaders saying, right, this is what you've got to do and this is my expectation and all those sorts of things. It's actually two-way feedback. So it's a really good opportunity for your people that you are actually looking after right now in your team. It's really good an opportunity for them to come in and say, do you know what, I've always had a passion to learn Excel, or, you know, I really like to do this in my development as part of my development, or, you know, anything that they might bring up. So it's a real, make sure that it's a real two-way conversation. So these sessions it's really an opportunity for them to track their progress against their targets. It allows them to take create corrective action. I'm trying to say corrective action before it gets to a point where there's non-deliverables or deadlines are being, done or whatever. And also, if somebody is starting to lose engagement because they might be one of your high performers, this is where you can give, further development through stretch targets and all those sorts of stuff. So this is also an opportunity for you to be able to demonstrate your concern. If you've got any concerns with around the growth or development of the people, and you can do it, throughout this whole process. But time really does need to be committed to follow the process fully, and then do a lot of coaching on the individuals, not only on results, but also on the behaviours of how they get to those results. You don't want a really high performer that is getting brilliant results, but by doing it, they're burning everybody that they meet. Okay, so we need to really try and get that balance between really good behaviours and then reaching the results that you want them to reach as well. And you also don't want somebody in your team who gets on with everybody, who everybody loves, but just don't get the results. So it's a real balancing act there. So it needs to be, really open, honest, two-way feedback. It's your opportunity to recognise and reward individuals where it's appropriate, and also sort of help drive engagement and motivation in your team. So, I think they're really, really important. So some of the things I just put here that you could cover when you're doing these one-on-ones. So yes, review against your targets and the progression against the targets. Really good opportunity to acknowledge any sort of reward and recognise people's accomplishments for whatever particular area they're working in. Give them some feedback on behaviour. So if somebody has said to you and said, oh, look, Tom did a really good presentation the other day, actually was really engaging, or, yeah, Tom really helped me out with that project I was working at, I was really stuck and he came to help me. So give them that feedback. Also give them feedback if it's the other way as well. So if someone said, oh, I'm really having trouble with Tom, he's really cranky in the mornings, he's not very approachable, and, I don't want to ask him any questions. Maybe that's a discussion that you need to have with him, done in a constructive way. So really good idea to sort of, bring behaviours into these conversations, as well as, any sort of KPIs that you might have. A really good opportunity to discuss any upcoming priorities. So there might be coming down the line, there might be projects that might be coming down the line. So just, sort of planting the seed to see how motivated they are or engaged with that particular task or project that might be coming. And any sort of roadblocks around what they might be stopping them from reaching their targets, and coaching on how to deal with these. So, what sort of roadblocks are in your way? What have you done thus far? And what support do you need in to try and take those other roadblocks away? Get them to sort of say, yes, I've done A, B, and C, and it hasn't worked, and then coach them on what, D, E, and F look like. It's great to know if there's any support that's needed, but also if you need support from them in a particular thing. So you might go and have a presentation to yourself that Tom's had a really good, some insights in and helped you with it. Maybe you need him to come with you to support you with that. So there's support needed for both sides. Really good opportunity for you to get some feedback here. So have you got any feedback from me? Now, 9 times out of 10, that they won't have any feedback because they feel uncomfortable doing it. However, the more you say it in your one-on-ones, the more it's just going to become the norm, and they can say, yeah, okay, do you know what? You really helped me when we were doing, that problem-solving task because I was just stuck, and you came in and took over for that little bit and then handed it back to me, and that was really helpful. Or, whatever might have happened in that previous month or 6 weeks. So any questions raised and if there's been any resolution. So because you're having these one-on-ones individually with your team, somebody in your team might have a question and has found a resolution to it. And that's a really good opportunity for telling other one, did you have this question? Because actually, Nancy had a really good resolution. This is what she tried. It worked really well for her. This is what you could do too if that question comes up for you. And then future development for the individual. So that's that thing about what do they wish for themselves? Do they want to go up the career path go into leadership? Do they want him to go into technical expertise? You know, is there a different role that they'd like to edge towards? Those sorts of things as well. So that's a really good conversation to have. So yeah, whether it's in their current role or future role. So those are sorts of things that you could cover in your one-on-ones. And you know, you've probably got some other things that you can put in there, but if you've got this and you're having them probably 4 to 6 times a year, I think it's a really good conversation to have. That conversation probably won't go any less than an hour. I reckon I've seen them go for 90 minutes, but it's because if the least amount you're having, if you're only having them, give it the time that it needs to be able to ensure that you're getting what you want out of it and they're getting what you want out of it. If you're having them on a monthly basis, it might be a 45-minute get together because you're having them more regularly. So you just determine what's best for you on that. So what other tips have I got you for this one? Okay, so really important to seek feedback from the individual and where appropriate others. So, you know, if some people have come to you about Tom and they've given you a bit of feedback, you know, ask him, Tom, is everything okay? You know, there's a couple of examples where you haven't been yourself, especially in the morning. So, you know, perhaps there's something, you know, going on that I don't know about that you might need some support with, or whatever that may look like, you know. So if people are coming to you and talking about a particular member of your team and you're about to have a one-on-one with them, I'm not saying leave it to the one-on-one, because you do have to address things that are happening at the time. But if you're about to have a one-on-one, so that's probably a good opportunity for you to start that conversation. Use your own examples. So if you've heard something third party, then I wouldn't use it. So I wouldn't say Nancy said that Dolores said that Janine's sister saw you doing this. That it just doesn't work, right? So it's what you've seen, or you can simulate it with your own examples. So you can say, well, Tom, you know, when I had to do this report, I was really worried about it. But what I found is I used this template. And once I used this template and I was able to get the backbone done already, then I just continued just to use that template and delete the information from the month before and just add it in. So you're using your sort of own examples to sort of illustrate helpful hints, coaching, all that sort of stuff. Plan your time so you don't just talk about tasks, because remember I said to you it's got to be a real balance between, you know, the tasks and results as well as behaviours about how to get those results. So make sure that you have that balance in there and you're planning your time effectively and impactfully so you can get that balance in there. Now, you know, it's not that just Tom or whoever it is just turns up. I'm glad we don't have a Tom on here. I've been using Tom a lot. Anyway, so it's, you know, it's not just, is it, I'm just checking that no one's asking any questions. No one's asking any questions, are they? No, good, okay. So it's just not you as the leader that have to do all this, right? So you could do a template and hand it to your people and say, the day before that you come and see me for your one-on-one, I'd really like you to fill this template out so that I can have a look at it before you come in. It gives us both the time to plan this discussion and make sure we get the most out of it. And I'll show you a little one-on-one template that I've used before, but I've used hundreds of different ones. So I'm not sure if this is the one I'm going to get converted. I'm going to have a look at all my one-on-one templates, take the best out of every one of them, and I think I'm going to make a template and put it in the tool suite. So is that something you'd be interested in, or I'll just see if you can. If you can just answer on the comments there. I think I have to reconnect. Okay. Michelle, thank you. Yes, please. No worries. Excellent. Okay. We're back. I think I went offline a bit there. It'd be good to change to suit a situation. Yes, absolutely. I think a template would be a good starting point. Felicity, great one. Yes, so I'm going to put a template in there, but I'm also going to put what good looks like. So I'm going to put an example of what could be the content on the template. Now, I've got a template here to show you, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use that one. So you can let me know whether that one suits or whether it doesn't, but we'll have a look at that a bit later. So obviously you've got to use your coaching skills. So just being able to have those engaging conversations, and we do a bit of coaching through the Team Leader Toolkit program, but you're there in that position because you have the ability to engage others. So use your coaching skills as much as you can. And remember, it's not just you that has to do this. What would be really empowering for the team is, and you might not be here yet with your team, but it might be something to look at down the track, is that they actually book the one-on-ones with you through your calendar. So, you know, I'd really like to catch up with you on, you know, every 6 weeks, and I'll put a reoccurring calendar invite for you. How good would that be? That just lets them take that little bit of ownership over the one-on-one so that they can, you know, get their planning done, get their template up to you. You can have time to have a look at it. But you might not quite be up to that with your team yet. They might just say, no, that's your job, not mine. But it's really, maybe it's something that we need to think about to bring in. Okay, so this is the template. Now, this is a 2-pager. Not sure if I like it. I like the content with regards to it's really, really simple and easy to use, but I think we can make it better. But let's just use this for now. So this is one if you have it every quarter, right? So you will have your key achievements, and this is just one done in November, December 2016. So you'd have your key achievements that you've done from the previous times, and then they would write in their priorities of what they want to get done January, February, March. Now, your team members will be doing this first, and then you'll get it just before your one-on-one, so you can add some more bits in there, and it can be sort of a collaboration of effort. So the first bit there is the key achievements of what they've already been able to achieve, and then they've got the priorities in there of what they're going to be focusing on for January, February, March. And then on the back of that, because I only really want these to be 1-pagers, so that's simple. On the back of that, they can give you the highlights for the reviewing months. So whether that's just monthly or whether that's the last 3 months, they can tell you what the highlights were, they can tell you what the lowlights were, and they can tell you if they had any red flags or issues that were, you know, giving them grief or roadblocks. So they're good things to sort of have a really good discussion about. Now, the development plan I've got on here, it's not only with regards to results, but behaviours as well. So what sort of development do they want to do? Do they want to do that Excel spreadsheet? Do they want to be able to learn how to coach better? Do they want to be able to learn how to, you know, have better negotiation skills? All those sorts of things. So this is probably a really good opportunity for them to say, this is what I'd really like to do moving forward. And then obviously the results and KPIs that they're looking for the month of, for that reviewing month as well. So it's a template that I'm willing to share, absolutely, if you don't have one already, but I am going to work on one that is a little bit easier. Is there anything in there, do you think, that's missing for you? Because if there is, I'll make sure that I incorporate it into one that we can all use. Preferably a 1-pager. It can be front and back, but it needs to be fairly simplified. So what do you think? Okay. I think I'm having problems here. I'm seeing what you're doing. Okay, so I'm going to keep going and I'll get back onto that shortly. But that's pretty much what I was going to have a conversation with you about. I think it was Kirsten, with regards to, Kirsten, with regards to one-on-one. So hopefully that would help, gives you the tips and hints to help you with that. All right, excellent. So if you think that template is okay, then absolutely let's get onto it and I'll get something done. But I must say, I think there can be some little tweaks and improvements with that one. So I'd really like to do that before I upload it into the tool suite. Now, at the moment, our graphic designers have got have got the leader standard work that we did last and had a chat about last week. So they're doing that for us. And they've also got some other bits and pieces as well. So I think there's a one-on-one template in there, and there's some other bits and pieces that will be uploaded onto the tool suite really soon. So hopefully we'll be able to get that sorted. Okay, so that's pretty much it from me today. Kirsten, there's your question answered. If you've got any further questions for me, Kirsten, or anybody else, then please absolutely email them through to the ask@teamleadertoolkit.com, and I'll answer them to you via email as well as them live, because a lot of the questions that get asked, quite a few team leaders have the same sort of things on their mind. So it's really good to share. So does anyone have any questions, thoughts, queries, insights that they'd like to share with us now? I'll keep my eye out. Okay. Oh, yep. Okay, so chat is working. I'm just making a hello. Okay. Nothing coming through. All right, excellent. So I would assume that everybody is okay and happy at this stage. If you've got any questions that are coming up, please don't hesitate, ask@teamleadertoolkit.com, and I will get onto them, as I said, via email as well as speaking live. And also, if you've got any thoughts, insights, if you've got anything that you want to share, don't forget we've got the live Facebook group that people are starting to slowly move on to now. So hopefully we can get that momentum going and start collaborating together, because you're all going through the same program. So it'd be really good to have that opportunity to be able to, share progress and ask questions and all those sorts of things. So that might be a good idea for you to do. And congratulations to those that have unlocked module 2. So would really love to hear your feedback on how you're going with that. I'm really excited. It's a really good lead on from module 1. So let me know how you go. If you've got any questions or thoughts, give us a buzz, or come on live here and we can have a chat about them. But other than that, is everyone okay? I'm just going to... I'm hoping we haven't lost it. Okay, no worries. Well, listen, take care. I'll see you next Thursday. Really excited. I've got some awesome things to show you next Thursday, so don't miss out. It's actually going to be a surprise. So watch this space. All right. Oh, excellent. It's coming through. All good. Thanks, Tina. No worries, Michelle. Great to have you here. Derek, well done. All right. Fantastic. Thanks, guys. We will catch up next Thursday. See you then. Bye.